Hello, Maima here from Goask Now Academy. I hope you all are doing good. So, today we will start with chapter number 1 of class 10th. We will study this chapter in two parts. So, firstly, we will cover some basic reaction, equation, and the type of reactions and all. So, the chapter 1 is all about the chemical reaction and equations. What actually chemical reactions are, what are the equations taking place in it, how we balance the equation. These all things we are going to cover in this chapter in two parts. So, let's move ahead with the first part. Here, firstly, consider the situation of the daily life and think what happened when. So, we will firstly correlate the things with our daily life. Like, see, milk is the left at the room temperature during the summers. We know what will happen, how temperature affects the milk. And iron, or we can say tawa, we can say pen or nail is left exposed to the humid temperature. Then what will happen? Grapes get fermented, right? Food is cooked, food gets digested in our body, and we respire. So these are some reactions which we can correlate with our day-to-day life. In the above situation, the nature and the identity of our initial substance have somewhat changed, like whatever they were in the initial state and it got changed. So this is the nature, okay. And also we have already learned the physical and the chemical changes of the matter. We know what actually the physical and chemical changes means. So whenever the chemical changes occur, we can say that the chemical reaction has take place. You may have perhaps be wondering as what actually mean by the chemical reaction. How do we come to know about the chemical reactions to take place? Where when we perform some activity, we'll find the answer of this question. So we'll move forward with this chemical reaction only. Okay, so let's do one activity. Here, we firstly the question is the activity needs to be the teacher assistance, obviously, but let's have explain how it work. So we have a clear magnesium ribbon, okay, and about 3 to 4 centimeter long, rubbing it in a sandpaper. Also hold it with the tongs like this, okay, and one it with the using of a sprit or the lamp burner and collect ash so formed in the was glass. We are just simply burning and ash we are getting, we'll have to collect it. Burn the magnesium ribbon till it's away as far as possible from your eyes. Okay. So here what you will observe is it's change. State got changed. So here burning of magnesium ribbon of the air collection magnesium oxide na first class. So this is how the reaction means, or you must have observed that the magnesium ribbon burned with a dazzling white flame and changes into the white powder. This powder is the magnesium oxide and it is formed due to the reaction between the magnesium and the oxygen present in the air. So this is how the chemical reaction works. Now, one more activity is there. See, take the few zinc granules in the conical flask and the test tube, add a dilute hydraulic acid and the sulfuric acid to the figure. So, handle the acid with a care. Also, do you observe anything happening? So, see, this is the experimental based from the above activities. We can say from this activity again we'll get the zinc and the sulfur now. So here from the above activities, we can say that the following observation, what we observed is change in state, change in color, evolution of the gas and change in temperature. So these are the basic things which we have observed and these all will come under the chemical reaction and the changes. Also, as we observe that the changes around us, we can see that there is a large variety of the chemical reaction taking place around us. So we will study about the various type of chemical reaction, their symbolic representation and all in this chapter. So here, firstly, we have introduced the chemical reactions, how it's taking place, how experimentally taking place, how we can relate it in the day-to-day life and all things. Okay. Now let's move ahead with the chemical equations. Firstly, what actually the chemical equation is. So first activity can be described when the magnesium ribbon is burnt in the oxygen. Okay, magnesium ribbon was burning, but in the oxygen it gets converted. Why? When it react this magnesium and the oxygen react and it got converted into the magnesium oxide. So the description of the chemical reaction in the sentence from the quite long. It can be written in the shorter form, and the simplest form way to write it in the formula way, the water equation. This is how theoretically we are explaining, okay, but how we can mathematically write the equation and all. So the word equation is not for the above reaction. It would be like magnesium plus oxygen as we know, and it will make a magnesium oxide. So the things which are reacting, okay, so they are known as a reactants, and the product we are getting after combination and all after the reaction, this particular thing is known as product, which is magnesium oxide. The substance that undergo the chemical changes in the reaction, magnesium and oxygen are the reactant, and the new substance, actually this is the new substance after the reaction, is called the magnesium oxide, formed during the reaction and as a product. Now, a word equation shows that the changes of reactant to products through an arrow placed between them. So, the reactant is written on the left hand side, here this side, and the plus sign between them. Similarly, the product are always written on the right hand side with the plus sign between them. So, the arrow head point toward the product and show the direction of the reaction, like when these reactants are combining or making the reaction, and after that this particular thing is like we are getting, this is what the chemical equation means. The left side thing is known as reactants, and this right hand side things are called product. So this is about the chemical equation. Now writing the chemical equation, okay, we have written that one in the word form like Mag, magnesium, and like this, but how we can write it in an equation way? So is there any other shorter way from the presenting equations? So yes, chemical equations can be made a concise and useful if we use the chemical formula instead of words. So all are having a chemical formula. The words are having the chemical formula. So chemical equation represent the chemical reaction. And if we recall formula of the magnesium, oxygen, and the magnesium oxide, the above equation will be formed like magnesium represented as Mg, oxygen will be represented as Og, so magnesium oxide will be MgO. So this is how we can write it in a chemical equation or in a shorter way. So the count and the compare of the number, the atom, each element, LHS and RHS of the row, is the number of the atom, each element same as the both side. If yes, then the equation is balanced. If not, then the equation is unbalanced because of the mass of the same on the both side equation, such as a chemical equation. The skeletal chemical equation for the reaction, this 1.2, is the skeletal chemical reaction for burning the magnesium in air. Means somewhere the oxygen got reduced or it is in the air, so that's why it got MgO. So here what does this para means? If we have a equation, okay, and here you will have to balance it whether 1 mg is there, so in the product are we getting 1 only or not? If 2 is there, are we getting 2 or there or not? But here in this particular case, oxygen get evaporated, or we can say it is present in the air, so might be it is the case. So this is how you will have to also check the balanced equations. Okay, now this is only now we read the balanced chemical equations. So chemical equation, now the balanced chemical equation. So recall the law of conservation mass of law that you have studied in the class 9. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. This is what we have studied under the law of conservation of mass. So that is the total mass of the element, okay, present in the product of a chemical reaction, and has to be equal to the total mass of the element present in the reactant. This is what the conservation of mass law. So in other words, the number of atom of the each element remains same before and the after chemical reaction. Whatever the chemical reaction is, that in that time the number of atom of each element will remain same. Hence, we need to balance the skeletal chemical equation. Is the chemical equation in the 1.2, here this one. So let us learn about the balancing chemical equation step by step. Okay, so the word equation for the activity 1.3 may be represented as, like, suppose we have a zinc sulfuric acid, and it is fine, like we get as a product zinc sulfide and a hydrogen. So the above word equation it may be represented by the following. We can write zinc as a Zn, H2SO4 is a sulfuric acid. These all are the formulas you have to learn by heart. Okay, so when they react, we got ZnSO4, okay, which is zinc sulfate and H2. So let us examine the number of atom on the different element in the both sides. So zinc, the number of atom here is the 1, and the number of atom in the RHS is also 1. That's fine. For the H, it is 2, here 2. Okay, that's fine. As here it's 1, it's 1. 4, then 4, then 4. So it's completely balanced. As the number of atom each element in the same on the both side of the arrow is a balanced chemical equation. This is what the balanced chemical equation means. Okay, from both the reactant and product, we concluded that it is having a same number of atoms in the LHS part as well as in the RHS part. Now let us try for the balanced chemical equation. Few more equations are there. Here you just see FeH2O and here Fe3 and H2. Okay, first the balanced chemical equation. First step will be the balanced chemical equation. First draw the boxes around each other and do not change anything inside the boxes balancing. So firstly just draw it. Okay, FeH2O, Fe3O4 and H2. Simply have covered these all equation these all terms with the box. Now step 2 will be list the number of atoms in the elements and the unbalanced equation. You can see Fe is 1, but here it is 3. H is 2 and it's 2, that's fine. O is like here it's 1 and here 4. So we have just simply write all the terms or elements we can say. Now step 3 would be if it is often convenient to start the balancing with the compound of the contact maximum number of the atoms. So it may be the reactant or the product, or in that compound select the element which has the maximum number of atom. Using this criteria we select Fe3O4 as the element of the oxygen in it, and if there are 4 oxygen in the atom then RHS only one as a LHS. So we'll like simply balance it. Initially it was H2O and here it will be Fe3O4 in the products. Okay, and to balance we will write it 1 into 4 so that here it will got balance. So to equalize the number, see, simply to equalize the number of the atom, it must be, remember that we cannot alter the formula of the compound or element involved in the reaction. For example, the balanced oxygen we can coefficient 4, so we can write as 4H2O, it will be H2O4, or we can write H2O and then whole 4. Do not disturb any element, do not disturb any product. So now partly balanced equation will become like Fe and here 4H2, okay, because here we can see H2 is 2 and then 2, here we'll write 4H2O means it will be 6 and then O. So here again it will be like Fe3 and then O4 and then H2. It is a partially balanced equation. Okay, now the step 4 will be half of the part we have done. Okay, now step 4 will be Fe and H atoms are still not balanced. We can see Fe is 3, here it is only 1. So now pick up these elements to the further and let us balance. So initial it is like in 8H2 it's 2H2. So we'll balance it 8 and the 2 into 4 8 just for balancing it. So the equation would become Fe 4H2O Fe3O4 and then plus 4H2. Okay. So now here these H will be balanced. Now Fe3 will remain against it. So now for fifth step will be examine the above equation and pick up the third element which is not balanced. Okay, so you can find that now we'll pick for the element which is Fe, which is not balanced. So here it is 3 and here it is 1. So we'll write it 3 and here again we'll write it 3. So to balance it, we'll get here. Finally, to equalize the equation, we take the 3 atom of F on the LHS. It will be 3Fe, 4H2, Fe3O4 and 4H2. So step 6 will be finally to check the correctness of the balanced equation. We count the atom of each element, both the side of the equation. We check it 3Fe, 4H2O, Fe3O4 and then 4H2. So whatever we have added, from there we got this equation and this is only the balanced equation. You just compare it. See, it will be 3Fe and here as well 3Fe. O is 4, here also O is 4. This 4 is common for H and for this. Okay, here it is 6 and here it is 6 like this. So yes, it is completely the balanced equation. So the number of atom of the element on the both side equation 1.9 are equal and the equation of balance. This method of balancing chemical equation is called hit and trial method, as we make a trial to balance the equation by using the smallest whole number coefficient. This particular method is known as hit and trial method. Okay, now the step 7 will be the writing symbols of the physical state. So carefully examine the balanced equation from here, this 1.9 equation. Does this equation tell us anything about the physical state or each reactant and the product? No information has been given to this equation about their physical state. Okay, so to make the chemical equation more informative, the physical state of the reactant and the product are mentioned along with their chemical formula. So the gaseous, liquids, aqueous, and the solid state reactant product notation GLAQS for the solid, liquid, gas, and these were aqueous is written as a reaction for the product. See, Fe it is in the solid state, H2O it is the gaseous state, Fe3 it is in the solid state, it is in the gaseous state. So this is the writing symbols of a physical state. Okay, note that the symbol G is used for with H2O to indicate that with the reaction what is used in the form of steam. So usually physical state are not included in the chemical equation unless it is necessary to specify them. Sometimes the reaction conditions such as temperature, pressure, catalyst are being taking place as it is a chemical reaction. So for the reaction are indicated above or the below to the arrow. For an example, like CO, 2H2, 340, CH3OH, then 6CO2. So in this way, or this is the catalyst. Okay, chemical reaction can be represented. Now using these steps, you can balance also the equation 1.2 given to the text earlier. Okay, so this is all about we can say the equations, how we can simplify the equation, how we can balance the equation. So there are like in unbalanced equation of the balanced equation. So with the help of like the numbers 2, 3, and 4, you can easily balance it. So now let's go ahead with some questions. First is, why should a magnesium ribbon can be cleaned uh, in a burning air? So see, the magnesium ribbon should be here. The magnesium ribbon should be cleaned before burning to remove thin layer of the magnesium oxide to form on its surface. The oxide layer prevents the metal from the burning easily. So this is the reason why is the magnesium ribbon to be cleaned before the burning in air. So magnesium ribbon should be cleaned before burning to remove the thin layer of magnesium oxide and formed on its surface, and this oxide layer prevents the metal from the burning easily. Second is, write the balanced equation for the following chemical reactants. Here we have hydrogen, we have a chlorine, and it is like we are getting as a product hydrogen chloride. We know that these are the reactant, and after arrow or in the RHS part, whatever we are getting, it is a product. Second one is barium chloride, aluminum sulfate, and then we are getting barium sulfate and then aluminum chloride. And the third one is sodium water, sodium hydroxide, and the hydrogen. So I will explain how to write the balance equation. So hydrogen, it will be like H2, chlorine, it will be Cl2, and as a product, we will get H2SCl. Okay, so like firstly, it will be H2. Okay, and then another, it will be chlorine will be Cl2, and then as a product, we get 2SCl. And you can see H2 is here, the 2Cl are present in the RHS part, and the RHS as well, you are getting 2SCl. It means equation is balanced. Now, for the second one, it is barium chloride. So barium chloride will be as like BaCl2. Then aluminum sulfate, it is Al2SO4, and in the bracket it's 3, and then in as a product you are getting barium sulfate, which is BaSO4, and aluminum chloride, it's AlCl3. So simply, but that will be the first step. You just simply write the formulas. Okay, barium chloride, we know it is BaCl2, so just write only BaCl2. Aluminum sulfate, so just write Al2SO4 and whole thrice. Okay, and also barium sulfate, you know, so you just write BaSO4, and aluminum chloride also, you know, so just write AlCl3. Now it's time to balance. You after this, you saw that you just check whether the LHS and RHS are same or not. If not, then you will have to balance accordingly. So I will just orally explain what will be the final equation of this. So the final will be 3 BaCl2 Al2SO4 whole thrice, and the product will be 3 BaSO4 and Al2 AlCl3. Now the sodium is Na, water is H2O, and the sodium hydroxide will be NaOH, and hydrogen is S2. So again, just check whether the equation is balanced or not. If not, then the final equation will be 2Na plus 2H2O, and then as a product we are getting 2NaOH and then H2. This will be the balanced equation for the chemical reaction. Now write the balanced equation with the step of for the following reaction. So we have first solution of the barium chloride in the solution sulfate. Sodium sulfate in the water react to give the insoluble barium sulfate and in the solution of the sodium chloride. Second is sodium hydroxide and hydroxide, a solution in the water reacts with the hydrochloric acid solution in the water to produce the sodium chloride solution in the water. So first for the first one, here the equation, or we can say state symbol will be like NaOH as a solution of the barium. First for the BaCl2, it will be the aqueous plus Na2SO4. It's a sodium sulfate. Again, it will be aqueous, and then the reactant, the product will be BaSO4, solid state, and 2NaCl, which is aqueous state. The second one is NaOH, sodium hydroxide, aqueous, and then SCl, again it is aqueous, and then NaCl, again it would be aqueous for the product, and H2O, it will be in the liquid form. So this is the balanced chemical equation with the terms which has been given. So this is all about the part 1 for this chapter number 1, and we will in the next video we'll move with the part 2. And but still you have any doubts in this particular part 1, or you want a teacher to guide you personally, join our one-to-one live tutoring at Guasna Academy. Will help you to learn every concept with these. Also, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for the part 2, chapter number 1. Thank you.